All right, everyone, problem set 6.4 video key, the moment you've been waiting for. All right, I've got some stuff filled out for you already. The triangle proportionality theorem. If a line is parallel to one side of a triangle and intersects the other two sides of the triangle, then it divides the two sides proportionally. So I've shown an example here. So we have two parallel lines, okay, and it intersects these two sides. And so that's created proportional sides. This side divided by this side will equal this side divided by this side, which I've shown right here. Okay, remember a converse for number one here is when you switch the if and then statement. So we can say if a line divides two sides of a triangle proportionally, then the line is parallel to the third side. So that's saying if we know this is true, then we know these two lines are parallel. Let's do some examples. Solve for the missing lengths. So since these two lines are parallel, indicated by the red arrows, we know that 2 over 8 is equal to 3 over question mark, or maybe I'll call that x instead of question mark. Cross multiply, giving us 2x equals 24, and divide, and you get x equals 12. All right. I'm going to use a different color that stands out a little more, maybe. Is that better? Orange, let's use the orange. All right, so over here, similar thing, we can do 5, oh, I already have an x there. So the whole thing is question mark, which I'm trying to find. So I'm gonna find x first and then add it to 5 to get the whole question mark length. So we can say that 5 over x is equal to 3 over 12. So like this little side over this side is equal to this little side over this side. Cross multiply, and you get 60 equals 3x, so you get x equals 20. But then, that's just this length. We want the whole length, so you got to add x to 5 and get 25 for our answer for question mark. All right, last one here. Now, if we call this little length x where the question mark is, then this length has to be 25 minus x since the whole thing is 25. So if you use some numbers and say that this little question mark is actually equal to like 4, then you would know that this length here would be 21 because 21 plus 4 would give us the whole length of 25. So to get 21, you just do 25 minus 4. But since we don't know that that equals 4, we just say it's 25 minus whatever it is, so we just call it x. Okay, so that's where that comes from. Now we can set up a proportion. 16 over 4 is equal to 25 minus x over x. Now we got variables on both sides. So when you cross multiply, you get 16x equals 100 minus 4x. Get the x's on the same side, giving us 20x equals 100. So x equals 5, which is what we were trying to find. Remember, I called question mark x. Okay, now kind of backwards. Is BD parallel to AE? Is this line parallel to this line? So if we show the sides are proportional, 9 over 5, does that equal 11 over 3? They are not equal, actually. So the sides are not divided proportionally, and therefore not parallel. Not parallel. Because the sides are not divided proportionally. All right, so then you're supposed to click on this link right here. It's a pretty good site that has some practice problems for you to do. So get 5 problems correct and then move on to the next page. On the next page, we have another proportionality theorem called the angle bisector proportionality theorem. Now it says if a ray bisects, so remember a ray is like this right here, like a line that has like an endpoint goes on. So we have a ray, so imagine like this actually goes on forever, but we don't draw it because it's not important to the picture. But we have a ray that bisects an angle, so it makes these two angles congruent. If that happens, then it divides the opposite side, so this side, into two segments. So we have a segment here and a segment here that are proportional to the other two sides. So based on this picture, I can say A over C is equal to B over D. Okay, so now we're going to use that down here. And we can say 21 over 9 is equal to 14 over x. Cross multiply, giving us 21x equals 126, and therefore x equals 6 when you divide by 21. Coming over to this problem, we can say 4x plus 1 over 5. And remember, this is true because we have a bisector here. These two small angles are congruent to each other. So we have 4x plus 1 over 5 equals 15 over 3. You can cross multiply, giving us 12x plus 3 equals 75. Subtract, and you get 12x equals 72. Divide, and you get x equals 6. Divide by 12. All right. Let's move that up here a little bit. All right, more of the same. We got 4 more problems here. Find the missing lengths. So question mark, which again, I'm just going to call that x. And so we can say 2 over 4 equals x over 8 because these two angles are congruent, so that's a bisector. And you can get 16 equals 4x, divide by 4, and you get x equals 4. Let's move down here to this problem. Again, so now we have a whole length question mark. So let's call the smaller length x. So x is this right here. Okay, and now I can say that 15 over x is equal to 10 over 6. Cross multiply, and you get 90 equals 10x. And divide, and you get x equals 9. But x isn't what we're trying to find. We're trying to find question mark, which is the whole thing. So we know this is 9, and then we can add that to 6. So question mark equals 15. Okay, similar problem here, I think. So again, let's call this length x. That's this. Maybe I'll actually color code these. Let's see. Make this orange. So it matches the orange x. There you go. All right. So now we can say that x over 45 is equal to 16 over 20. Cross multiply, you get 20x equals 720. So x equals 36. But again, we're not looking for x. We're looking for question mark. We know that's 36 right here. So right here is 36, so plus 16, and you get question mark equals 52 once you know x. And finally, one more problem. Again, we have a bisector, so we know they're proportional. So we can say, call this x again if you want. We can say x over 21 is equal to 16 over 12. Cross multiply, 12x equals 336. Divide by 12, and you get x equals 28. And that's it.